This has been the most wonderful, incredible year for me. I've been able to connect with myself. I've been able to witness all the people in our course at their own time, at their own pace, connect with themselves. We've connected with each other. Carolyn is an amazing teacher. She supports each of us as we are finding ourselves, as we're looking deeply into ourselves, as we're finding joy that maybe has long been hidden. I entered the class needing to come back to myself. I've had a long practice of healing and healing arts, but I had had approximately 10 years away from it, and I had lost my ground. And when I first met her in a preliminary weekend that was short, I knew that her teaching was true. Her heart was deep. She was such a wonderful support of the individuals in that short weekend that I made myself look into this and was able to fly from California to Colorado every month for this training across a year. Her teaching methodology just deliciously involves time with each individual, giving all the participants time to work with one another, mixing it up each time, having just deep experience with a lot of support, a lot of training, a lot of guidance. She's a wonderful gal. Her writings are, they just will meet your heart and meet your needs. And I am so grateful to her and Shirley, all the participants in our class this time. She's has a strong methodology about her teaching. She knows where she's going. She builds skills in the students month after month after month. She's able to give you lecture sort of information, if you would, on a casual level. Lecture information, backs it up with concrete skills that you use. You practice in group. You take home and you practice on yourself. You have sessions with people that you'll set up that are your volunteers to work with. I was out of state, so I had to meet with people who didn't have any training in this, whereas the people locally could meet with one another, and possibly maybe it was a little easier on them because they were all building the skills at the same time with one another. I will always use the skills that I found in this class and learned in this class. They'll become deeper. They've become deeper in the last month, the 11th month out of 12, and I'm going to enter the next year and continue to deepen those skills for myself. I think that when you have an outlook that one of Carolyn's teachings, life happens for you, not to you, that in every moment of every day, where previously you could see a conflict or something that wasn't moving smoothly in your life and you try to circumvent it or find coping mechanisms to deal with it, you almost enter into it with joy, to use the skill set that she has taught us to be aware and to look at it and to examine it and to see where this is a pattern that may be repeating itself in your life, but you haven't narrowed it down to name it and say, this pattern keeps coming back in this way or that way or this way. Once you follow this process and you even begin to notice that there's something out of sync in your life or out of your normal realm that you'd love to see happening to you, you just start to delve into it and look at it and want to find out at its core what's that about and what is the real truth of you and what is the truth of your life and your ability to create in your life.
In the beginning, I was really apprehensive, a little unsure about taking this training. I've done a lot of coach trainings in the past and wasn't really getting my business, going forward much in my business. I've spent a lot of time and money and just really concerned, like, is this the right step for me? And after this year-long program, I know that I've really taken huge leaps forward, and I feel like I have such a better foundation to now work with clients. I'm feeling really, really energized and really excited to start doing this work with clients. Some of the biggest difference was just how just really, I can't think of the word, but just really involved it was. It being a year-long program, the programs I've taken in the past were, several months, nothing year-long. I think being in person was really important, and doing a lot of practice outside of class with other classmates was really, really helpful. Combining everything, so there was like pieces of, it felt like it was a really cohesive program. So we worked on really using the body as a way to help people transform, to actually transform yourself. And I think that was one of the biggest tools or skills that I've learned, is to really just use the body, use the sensations to be able to transform the inner experience.
Amazing, like seriously deep, soul evolving work. And it's just been an honor to be able to be part of this. Totally changed my life, helped me like shed a bunch of layers. I wouldn't have been able to get to this point. I think it might have taken me a decade, and I got to move through a lot in a year. I still have lots more work that I get to do, which is going to be wonderful. It's so wonderful. I don't want to stop. Like, I just want to keep doing, keep connecting with Mibi, keep that as part of my practice, because the tools are a really amazing immersion of psychology, energy work, and body work. It's like nothing that you'll ever experience, and it's incredibly transformative. I was going through such a really, really dark period in my life, and could have continued to do that justifiably if I wanted to, or Carolyn helped me to realize that I could actually choose not to experience that, to actually move through it, move into it, lean into it, to transform it, and to be brighter even than I could have been if the dark time hadn't come. And that choice is a game changer. Do it, do not hold back, don't let any obstacle get in your way. I mean, everything can be worked through, but just show up and do this, and you will not regret it in any way. And your future self and your relationships, your future relationships will, and the peace of the planet will thank you.
Felt like I had a pretty good mental understanding of my own trauma and how to support clients in their trauma, but still felt like I was missing something. So I found Carolyn, got connected with Carolyn, and started working with her and doing the Mind, Energy, Body Transformation Coach Guide year-long certification. And I just feel like it gave me a much deeper understanding and ability to heal my trauma and to help clients heal theirs on a deeper level. And one of the biggest things the most important thing that I think I've gained from the program was being able to develop a more secure attachment system and with myself, so that I can show up and be present for myself and others. And it's changed my business, it's changed my work with clients. I feel like I'm a better and more present mother and a less reactive partner. And it's just been a gift for me to heal and to help others heal more deeply. I just think working on those 3 levels, the mind, energy, and body system, helps you as a human being resolve attachment issues and trauma, anxiety, depression, show up better in relationships, but also as a healer you get to spread that to the world, and that's pretty cool. learning how to attach to core being as that secure base and that internal security and safety, and to self-identify as that and not energy moving through you or around you. I think that was probably that and intention line were the most helpful skills.
It was a roller coaster. It was a really amazing experience. The amount of growth that I experienced in the past year is huge. And the ways that it shows up in my life today, what I've learned and the tools that I've learned and how I use them in my life have made such a difference in the reality that's being created now, as opposed to the reality that was there at the beginning. I think one of the most profound things was the bonding of my core being with my inner child and the attachment system. My attachment system was so sensitive, and so healing that and being able to rely on that bond between my whole self, my higher self, and my child, it helped me with boundaries, it helped me feel safe, it helped, just in so many ways. And it really illuminated the pattern of codependency that I had had in all of my relationships, that even in really sneaky, subtle levels of me needing, or my inner child needing that attachment piece to be fulfilled in an unhealthy way. And it was creating a reality out of my relationships that was not desirable. It's just such an amazing journey. I think my recommendation would be, at the point in the class, because there was definitely a point in the class where my ego was like, abort, it is not safe there. And that was the point where, like, don't quit and push through, because the transformation that came and the growth that came out of that was like the precipice. And if I had turned around and quit, then I would have missed just so many amazing opportunities to grow. The people are amazing. Carolyn's amazing. It's such a, if you've been looking for your tribe and haven't felt like you've found it, it's a really supportive environment to use relationship to learn more about yourself and to heal, things in your life that have been traumatic in relationship in the past.
It was life-changing, definitely. I think just the overall experience, the year-long fast course living and learning has been amazing. I think the owning my personal power and just realizing all the deep trauma and the stuff that you kind of put to the side and bringing it up in a group setting was amazing and extremely helpful, as well as meeting awesome people. I think owning my power and creating healthy boundaries and healthy relationships to then go out in the world and share this information and this healing process with others. I think that's the biggest thing for me. I think if someone is committed to do deeper work and go into the mud and into the pain and willing to transform that, I would recommend it to people that want that change and are willing to work it out.
It was a huge eye-opening experience for me, and what Carolyn said to me when she and I first met that made me realize this was a program for me was she told me, you don't have to be abused by your emotions for the rest of your life. And I had never understood that my emotions aren't myself, and that I have this identity and this experience of existence that's outside of just my emotional responses and my emotional pain and my anger in life, and being able to find and connect with that part of myself that is the real me, that isn't just my life experiences and isn't my taken on assumed personality. I started to actually really like myself and enjoy going out into the world and exploring the world. And it's also giving me an enormous amount of compassion for other people, because they aren't their emotions either. Other people, we aren't our emotions, we aren't our negative actions. We are these higher selves that get to come and explore being human for a little while. And that level of freedom really cut me loose from all of the things that I had let hold me down my whole life. And as I'm an artist, as an artistic professional, it's helped me with my artistic process too. And I've been able to watch my paintings and my drawings and my artwork really flourish, and a lot of those filters of judgment have sort of washed away. And now I can see myself in my artwork, and I'm creating things that I'm really proud of. I really benefited from the community that Carolyn had put together during this program. It's been incredible. Finding community is a difficult thing for me and my defenses and my personality in general. And then Carolyn has had this ability to bring out the best in people and help us learn how to interact with integrity and kindness, and to see each other even when we're not at our best, or when we're in defense, or when we can hurt each other, and still not be a victim or victimize each other. And this sense of being able to come together in a community and trust and receive from other people has been huge for me. There are a lot of reasons that I would recommend this program to people. I think, just speaking for myself, I think I would recommend this class to young people. I was 29 when I started taking this course, and I was a little nervous. I felt like I was too young, and instead, I think that it's set me up with a really good map for the rest of my life, and it's allowed me to enjoy being young, and these self-mastery skills and this self-awareness doesn't have to just be something that you develop because you're old and life has just beaten you up for 30 years or however long. You can actually have these skills and bring them to young people communities and create the world that young people want to create, because we're not just having to interact with each other on our defenses. So I would really recommend it to people who might think that they're even not old enough to learn this level. I think that's not true, and there needs to be more students for this in the world. It's just been a wonderful experience. It's been a really good balance of academic classwork and transpersonal therapy and working in groups of people. I think that this program in particular has something in it that will challenge the defenses in just about anybody. Even if things that you don't see in yourself, going through this level of mind, energy, body work, the way that Carolyn has it set up in this school, you will surprise yourself. There will be things, you're going to get to know the parts of yourself that you never knew, and you're going to get to love that person and get to know that person. But there will be a lot of surprises along the way, and those are kind of the little gifts that you can have over the course of the year.
Hi, I decided to take the Me class with Carolyn because I'm very particular about who I will choose to be a teacher for me. And when I met Carolyn, I really knew how deeply centered in this deeper knowing that she was. And I was really impressed by her abilities to read and understand people and help them to identify what's getting in their way to create transformation. Then as I took the class throughout the last year, all of my previous understanding of Carolyn's talents were just deeply expanded she's truly the best practitioner I have ever seen working. She's connected on a level that is phenomenal, and she's created a program that is on the leading edge of where we're heading to really cause transformation on this planet. we're moving out of a more traditional therapy, talk therapy type of a relationship with clients to this much more deeply integrated way of being able to work with clients on all different levels, on the mind, the energy, and body. It's transformative what can happen when you are working with beings holistically. That is what totally drew me to this work, and I'm really excited about taking out into the world and being able to expand it further. A huge shift for me was I always understood the wholeness, my whole being, but I always sort of brought that wholeness into my whole body. And Carolyn really helped me to be able to identify it as existing always in my body and awaken it. So the concept of core being in my physical body on all my different levels, in my body, not something that I brought into it, something that already existed and that I awakened, was a huge shift for me in being able to call it into awareness much more easily. And there's a powerful shift in being able to claim it right in your body and in your energy system as your wholeness. And that's kind of the core of everything that we do in MeBe, is identifying your wholeness and always bringing everything into alignment to the wholeness, finding out what the blocks are that get in the way, but we're working with that on all different levels. We're working on that in the mind and in the energy and in the body, and being very honoring of all three of those as contributing to how our lives are made up, how we create freedom, and how we get transformation to move on and create what it is that we want in the world. And that's the power of this more holistic system. And so it was very transformative for me to learn how to integrate all of that for myself so that I could be a much better coach and helper to other people who also want to transform that in their lives. If you are somebody who's committed to full healing, because some other trainings and work that I have done before have been good for creating shifts, creating openings, some levels of transformation. This work I found actually roots down all the way to the absolute core where full transformation can occur. And if that's what you are committed to wanting to be able to do for yourself and for any of your own clients, this is the new wave of how this is going to be happening on the planet. This more integrated sense of it, and it's about awakening our own abilities that we already have to connect with these different levels and layers as well, and bring that out and allow us to use our skills at a much higher level when we learn how to identify these things and use our skills with all those different levels for helping our clients. I would say this has been one of the most powerful experiences for me to do this work. And what is so incredibly important about this particular school and work is you have to do your own healing work along with understanding how to help and heal others. And that is a missing component in a lot of other trainings. You can go in and you can collect the information and learn the techniques, and you can go and utilize those and not have addressed those issues inside yourself. That is something that you'll be doing in MeBe. You will look at your own issues, you will find the ways that you can heal them and you can transform them, which then allows you to be a much more proficient and healer for others. And I find that to be, I would put that in the mandatory category of People who want to heal others have got to understand and know how to heal themselves.